Hey! Well, welcome back to Lucore Automotive Services. Today, we have Tony and Tessa's white Mustang in here. Miss Midnight Maverick and Tony have been gallivanting around the country, abusing the heck out of this four-eyed fox body. And if you haven't seen it on their video, or if you didn't hear it in the back there's been a bit of a catastrophic failure. Missing some teeth. So, we're gonna get this thing up in the air and pull the cover off, see exactly how bad the rear end is, what we need to do to fix it, so these guys can get back to doing what they do best. So, really super nasty stick shift, four-eyed fox body, rear end rebuild time. If you're interested, stay tuned. See if you can hear anything. Can you hear any of that? You done it good, Tony. You done it good. One of them West Virginia ring gears. Woo!
Look how them bearing them shims are, like you can pull them shims.
Oh yeah, man.
You can just
side load just come right out.
What's the motor, like a 347 or something?
For those of you who don't know this car, 410 cubic inch small block Ford in the front, like 12.5 to 1 compression. Very, very healthy motor. Manual transmission in the middle, and 373 rear end gear in a Ford 8.8. It is, however, dead and very, very dead. Unfortunately, yeah, right. Maybe glue those back in. Good stuff. Take it apart. So, lots of disassembly to get this thing done. This is not just pull the center section out, put the center section back in. So, lots of disassembly. Jeff here is going to do most of the actual work because there's a lot of tear down before we can get to any of the fun stuff. But Tony, you done it good, buddy. You done it real good. Let's hope that all it needs is a ring and pinion. There's a good chance we may have eaten some bearings as well on this, but we'll see. So, tear down time, here we go. Well, at least it's got C-clip limiters on it. Passenger side axle looks pretty good. Driver's side axle. Tony. Don't know if you can tell, but you're a little crooked. So, time to talk to the customer. Mr. Customer, you're gonna need axle or possible axles. Otherwise, how's the inside of the housing look?
It's got a couple ping marks, but it doesn't look like it's cracked or anything.
Okay. Well, at least the axle housing is savable. Just got a whole lot of junk to knock out of it, I'm sure. Oh, Tony.
Magnets and brake clean. I wouldn't rub your fingers in there.
It's very shrapnel.
It's very shrapnel-like.
It's a little shrapnel-like. All right, let's find an axle. This is the driver's side.
The carrier heaved when that happened.
Yeah.
I would venture to guess.
I guess the saying that Tony and I have been talking about is if you're not breaking stuff, you're not trying hard enough. So, you tried hard enough, Tony.
It's that way in jet skiing and racing and
Yeah.
jeeping and
All that stuff.
all that stuff.
So, it's too early in the morning to talk to Uncle Terry at Jegs, and it's really too early to reach out to Tony because he's on the West Coast. So we're going to wait a couple minutes, and they're going to reach out and see what's available to get this Mustang put back together again. But easy peasy, in and out, lemon squeezy. Not so much, Tony. You broke it good, sir. You broke it good. It definitely, you could see kind of it heaves to that corner. Yeah, you did it. You did it. I heard from Mr. Tony himself, Grandpa Hollywood, and his response is, no need for axles, they'll twist again. One spline twist is normal. So he's not nervous about it. So apparently, this guy likes to get rowdy and bend axles all the time. So we're just going to toss her back together again, see what happens. And Uncle Terry's already got a set of axles on order, just in case. Because, whatever. Everything cleaned up pretty well. Got all the shrapnel out of it, everything seems to be good. So, set a new set in it, put it back together again. We are going to set this on the tight side. He's not real worried about sound. We're going to set it a little tighter than what we normally would. To get rid of any slop that we really would worry about as far as in the gear set goes. It'll open itself up. Knock all that junk out of there. Knock it out of the tubes. See if you can spray it on me again. Yep, absolutely. I walked right into it.
You watched me spray it. They did it.
Oh, all on me. I'm sorry. All right, so we got a Richmond gear set. Sticking with the same gears that were in it, I believe. These are a 410, Ford 88, ring and pinion. And now we've also got our bearing set installation kit. Because clearly the things that were in there, we're not going back in there. We'll use some slightly wonky axles, but we got to make sure this thing is all set up exactly as we need it as far as preload and everything else goes. So Jeff is doing one last cleaning, and then we'll get to finally reassemble this car. How much brake clean are you going to use?
Well, it just now got a really good charge. That machine's being funny. It's like you can only fill up one every hour.
For those who are curious, most people buy brake clean in little squirty cans. We have a recharging system to be able to recharge our guns with a 55-gallon drum over there. So it's kind of the scent of the shop. Ode de brake clean. Huzzah!
Definitely walloped that, man.
Yeah, but I didn't notice it at first. Bruce did.
So the chrome sockets don't throw enough weight into a nut to crush a sleeve, but the heavy impact sockets do. So when I start crushing the sleeve, I'm looking to rid my
That's why I brought the Volvo. Look at that. There's Tony's new shaft.
It's even got an orange shaft on it too. John shaft.
There you go.
C4.
Tony's new shaft.
Heavy duty.
Yeah. Not for what he does. So why you drive a wagon? Plenty of room for nice long shaft. There you go. Fits like a glove with a couple inches to spare.
Almost there. How's it going? Do I have to keep? Did the kit come with a new nut?
That is the nut.
That's a new nut. Now the clay's gone, but it doesn't have enough preload, so we're going to keep driving it until our preload is the right drag, which is it's 15 to 25 inch-pounds rotating force, which I have a torque meter for that, which I'll grab here in just a second. Take that, it's right about 20 inch-pounds. So you can feel it. It feels really tight. Now once it's driven and broken in, it'll feel loose, but the initial preload is more than what you think it is. Paint mark it across there, that way we can see it through the window in the drive shaft. So our pinion depth is within a thou, and we don't have any differences for shims to make it any different. It's as close as it needs to be. Go ahead and put your carrier in. We'll check our backlash, get our backlash set, and then we'll run our final pattern. These are 8 to 10. And as bad as he's going to hammer on this thing, it's not long for this world anyway.
Right. And
Go ahead and put the cover on and we'll fill it up with fluid. I got to switch the yoke over for the new shaft, so I'll do that while you're working on the cover. And then that'll be time to, well, you can put the axles back in anytime. You can put them in now or later.
RTV seal up.
Put the RTV on now so that it's got some time here. You got your pinion bolts are all torqued?
Yep.
Good. Thank you, sir. Tony's got a crooked shaft. Here's your shaft, sir. Give me the shaft. I think it actually stretched the eyelets on that yoke side too. Because there was barely any force on those coming out. Right. So not only did it jack the tube up, it jacked the yoke up. Interesting.
Well, folks, that's the end of this one. Typically speaking, at this point in time in the video, we'd be taking this thing out to do a little figure eights to get the ring set all nice and warmed up and go through the heat cycling process. However, it's raining outside because this is Ohio and it's springtime. And this car doesn't have tread on the tires, so there's going to be no driving the car at the moment. Everything's back in business, new drive shaft in, new install kit, new gears from Richmond are installed. Everything's back in business as far as we're concerned. Ready for Tony to go break it again, to be honest with you. If you're not breaking stuff, you're not trying hard enough. It's kind of the theme of the game. I do have, as you can see, the new shirts. Church of Bad Decisions shirts are on our website, lucoreauto.myshopify.com, as well as the I Support Bad Decisions AMX shirt. All the dollars spent on this shirt will go towards funding our Hellcat AMX project. All the dollars spent on this kind of stuff will help us do this kind of stuff, to be honest. Now, I will admit to a little bit of pie on my face. If you have happened to seen that I've processed your order in the last couple of days, they have not shipped yet because I am an idiot and printed the labels wrong. So I need to go back in and fix my shipping problems, which is going to be a really fun way to spend the next day. But once I get those labels all done, I will be getting everything shipped back out today/tomorrow. So everybody should start seeing their orders showing up here in the next few days. I do apologize on how long this has taken. We weren't real familiar with how the whole merchandising thing goes, and clearly I have no idea how packaging works. So my apologies on all that stuff. Thank you guys very much for being here. We appreciate it. You'll see this thing back up and running here shortly. Miss Midnight Maverick and Tony will be here in Ohio, I don't know, at some point in time, doing shenanigans because it's getting to be warm weather, which means race car stuff. We're going to have a bunch more of that kind of thing around here. If you guys are interested, please do stay tuned. Like, comment, subscribe, all that kind of jazz. We'll see you on the next one, guys. Take care. Bye-bye.